Last night, behind a full spread of rarely ordered Chipotle tacos.
They were delicious, weren't
They were good. Didn't know they were even on the menu.
Yeah.
An elite committee of analysts, football savants, and people who don't even know how many teams there are in the NBA, trying to lecture people, fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to concoct the best rankings in all of sports. It's an honor and it's a privilege. It's time for the committee's tiers. What a day.
Indeed. So here's the deal. The committee had to do some self-scouting. Because anytime we're going to have a new tiers, when there hasn't been massive new news since the last one. Yes, Stephon Diggs did sign earlier today, and we worked that in, by the way. We got that late break.
Nice.
And, a few injuries there, here and there, but nothing to really shake it up. So we basically said, what did we potentially get wrong last time in the tiers? What could we manicure and adjust? So, directionally, they're similar to last week, but with some significant adjustments, most notably at the bottom. Large group. This is the group of deep sleepers. And here's what I mean. We always talk about, there's 5 new teams to the playoffs. And so people are like, okay,
love it.
Well, a new team could be the Ravens, a new team could be the Lions, a new team could be the Chiefs. And then people will be like, well, and there'll be, there's a sleeper team. And like, so this year, a lot of people are picking the Giants, whose over-under's 8 wins or something. Like, none of those teams are deep sleepers, meaning a team that if they made it, you're like, oh my God.
Great.
They made the playoffs. Like the Texans, CJ Stroud's rookie year. People thought they're going to be the worst team in the league. They make the playoffs. These are the only 6 teams that qualify as, oh my God, they made the playoffs. So if there's going to be an, oh my God, they made the playoffs team, it's one of these 6 teams.
Titans.
It's deep sleep. Maybe.
Are they also like,
What?
no chance they're making?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Because
it all feels like.
Only team I could even think would be the Titans, and that would be a shock.
That's why deep sleep.
That's the only team.
So
take a look at Jacoby Brissett's numbers in the end of the year.
The Cardinals.
Yeah.
Saying, all right.
Yeah, but the playoff,
Geno,
division?
Jets and Geno. Again, that's why they're the only oh my God teams.
Okay.
The more attractive but more vapid cousin of deep sleepers, shallow sleepers.
Yeah.
This is like filling out multiple March Madness brackets, and you're like, I called this. Everybody's gonna pick one of these teams. Good for you. You think there's going to be a shocker out of the NFC South. Whoop-de-doo. You believe in John Harbaugh.
Made the playoffs.
Say it again?
Carolina made the
playoffs. But they would agree.
One of those teams has to.
The Bucks could.
Except the Bucks, right.
These teams, again, you can call them your sleeper, but there's not really a lot of oomph and gravitas to it.
Okay.
QB swap. Look. I'm not here, and this show isn't here to relitigate Tony Fauci and the COVID pandemic for a number of reasons, not the least of which is we're not stuck in a time warp from 5 years ago. But the moment I saw Aaron Rodgers back on McAfee talking about vaccines, I was like, you know what? I've seen this movie before. Mm-hmm. He's a Steeler. He's doing these interviews. He's taking shots at different journalists, different networks, mixing in some other. I saw this movie. I didn't think it was that great. I didn't walk out, but I never would. If it could be on Prime for $2.99, not interested. You know what I might be interested in? Just complete the full Brett Favre career arc. Go to Minnesota. Meanwhile, you know what the Steelers feels like a Steelers quarterback? Kyler Murray. Retread with some options. You know what I think Kevin O'Connell would enjoy? A quarterback with the arm talent of Aaron Rodgers. Everyone wins. Just switch. Just switch. Rodgers to the Vikings where he should have been to begin with. Kyler to the Steelers where he should have been to begin with. Everybody, it's something, at least something fresh and new. What could Kevin O'Connell do with a former top 5 pick who flamed out at his first stop? We've seen the movie. They can be good, not great. We've seen it.
Okay. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
So if you were Minnesota and that offer came on your table, you would definitely do it.
If I were Minnesota, do I think they have a higher upside with Aaron Rodgers than Kyler Murray? Yes. And if I'm Pittsburgh, do I think I would take the lower upside this year from going from Kyler to Aaron for the lottery ticket of? And you know what? I'd be like, you got to throw in JJ. I get both of them. We're bringing your whole quarterback controversy over here, and we're going to see how it works.
I think Justin Jefferson.
No, J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
You're going to throw it, both your quarterbacks for Aaron. That's the deal. That's the trick. Take the over. Washington and Cincinnati. I'm not talking about in wins. I'm talking about just in their games this season. They're going to be good offenses. They're going to be bad defenses. There's going to be a lot of points. They're going to be entertaining games. I don't think either team is a legitimate contender, and I actually don't, right now in pencil, think either team is going to be in the playoffs. I think they'll score a lot of points. QB prove it year. All for different reasons. Baker doesn't have a contract. He said, I'm going to make him pay for it. No problem. Justin Herbert. If there wasn't, a lot of scrutiny on you already, thanks to, the latest candid camera video, there's a little more. Also, it's probably about time you know what? I'm not even going to ask you to win a playoff game. Can you just play well in a playoff game? Baby steps. Play well in a playoff game, win would be a bonus. And C.J. Stroud, we just talked about him being under more pressure than any quarterback in the league. Again, I expect all three of these teams next year to be quarterbacked by the same quarterbacks they're quarterbacked by this year. Baker, Herbert, CJ. It's still a bit of a prove year for all three teams for different reasons. High school debate. Any of you guys do high school debate? You guys? Did you do it?
I did not. That wasn't really like.
Oh, you were too cool.
Did you do high school debate?
I did not.
Heck yeah, he did.
Danny Parkins was state champion in it.
He was?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow. I did. That's a lie. I did it one quarter or one semester.
What happened?
I didn't. So I'm glad you asked, because that leads right to this.
Okay.
The idea behind high school debate is you go into a hot button topic and you don't know which side you're arguing until the moment of the debate. So you have to prepare the case for both sides.
Yeah.
And while obviously I'm about as well equipped to do that as anyone who's ever lived, I didn't feel like it was earnest. I was like, what if it's something I truly believe in? It was real topics, like real life things, like that you have so I didn't like it. Here's why I say it. I feel like you can make equally strong, very pro and very con arguments for these three teams. Like, if you wanted to make an argument as to why any of these three teams this year they are going to the Super Bowl, there's evidence for it. You can make.
You think San Fran
Super
Bowl? Super Bowl?
San Fran last year, their quarterback missed half the season. They were the most injured team in the league. They were playing for the 1 seed in the final game of the regular season, and they won a playoff game. There's the argument. You know what I mean? Brock Purdy's good. Shanahan's great.
Con side.
Right.
Everybody's
Con side.
hurt.
This substation.
What's going on?
Cowboys we've talked about a lot. Philadelphia, I've said, I think they could win 14 games. I think Sirianni could be fired at Thanksgiving. Like, you could make a very strong pro or con argument for these teams, high variance teams in my opinion. Did you watch Highlander as a kid?
No.
I didn't watch it either. I don't even know what it's about. I think there's a big leather jacket involved, but I do know the tagline. There can be only one. Jags Pats. It's not so much about Drake Trevor as much as is this. These are two teams last year that surprisingly won 13 games. The Pats win 14 games? You guys won 14 games.
We lost to the Steelers, Raiders, and Bills.
Yeah, you guys, and then in the Super Bowl by a lot.
And won.
Yeah. But two teams that smashed their win total. Both are, in my opinion, prime to different degrees, regression candidates, at least to a degree, have varying levels of confidence from the national media, and I think only one of them is going to be able to duplicate its success from last year. And I'm not even saying it's going to be the Jags. What I'm saying is I expect one of these two teams to be one of the teams that goes from in the playoffs to out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It goes from 13, 14 wins to 8, 9 wins. I don't think they're both going to. Maybe. It might be. I don't think they're both going to be there. Sliding doors moment 2025. Midway through the third quarter of a late game in the 2025 season, the Green Bay Packers were 9-3-1. Micah Parsons was making Defensive Player of the Year case. He was wreaking havoc. They were beating the Denver Broncos. They were about to have, I think, be a half game out of the 1 seed in the NFC, beat Denver, and see where they can go. Micah tears his ACL. The Broncos come back and win that game. The Broncos end up taking off and getting the 1 seed. The Packers never win again all year. I do wonder how we don't look at those teams last year at all as having similar seasons. I wonder how close they actually were. When they played, they looked like very close. And if that Micah Parsons false step trying to chase down Bo Nix, how much that altered both of their seasons. The Broncos aren't the 1 seed, and you guys are so many different things. The Packers end up winning the division instead of the Bears, all of it. Spot no longer guaranteed. Wow. The best team of the last decade and 2 of the best teams, you could argue 2 of the 3 best teams that haven't won a Super Bowl of the past decade, who the last half decade we just consider perennial playoff teams. They're in there every year. Last year proved that spot's no longer guaranteed. This year they have to go out and prove last year was the fluke. I don't think all 3 of them are going to prove it. I think one of these 3 teams we're going to come after this year and be like, oh, okay. Doesn't mean the window for their quarterback or their coach is over. The Ravens already got a new coach, but it means they have to open a new one. And so spot no longer guaranteed. Too much hype? ? Bills, Bears. Bears, year 2, Ben Johnson. Caleb in year 3, the defending champion of one of the toughest divisions in football. Just gave Darnell Wright, the right tackle, all that money. Loved the offense. Loved Colston Loveland. Caleb, ask Liam Cohen. He's the only thing on NFL Network's website, which I think is just NFL.com these days. Regardless, the Bills, every conversation with them, it's not their fault. It's all anybody asks them about. Super Bowl. Did they get better from last year to this year? I don't know. Maybe. They fired their coach. They did add DJ Moore. Did they get better? I'm not sure. They're very high on the tiers. Too much hype? ? KW, what do we worry about for the team that loses the Super Bowl?
Oh, the Super Bowl hangover. It's a real thing.
Yep. What was the real Super Bowl last year? The NFC Championship game. Rams.
That's
Super Bowl hangover ?
Really?
If that was the real Super Bowl, wow, that's a concern. This whole Myles Garrett's missing practice with it's a lower body something is all Sean McVay's telling us. I saw the news today. Aaron Donald might come back. He also was filming a documentary series or something. I didn't love that at all. Here's what I'm telling you. We had the Rams at number 1. Committee thought long and hard and said, you know who maybe should be number 1? We were like, who did win the Super Bowl last year? We kicked it around, we asked, we tried, we checked the internet.
They were very good.
One within a route.
Forgotten champs.
It's true.
Fellas, we do a 2-hour-a-day, 5-day-a-week sports talk show. Since a week after the Super Bowl, how many Seahawks segments do you think we've done?
They're very good. We haven't done enough, probably.
If
we do, it's should we talk more about the Seahawks?
Yeah, and the Seahawks flew under Danny, to his credit, thought the Seahawks were awesome all year. But they flew under the radar nationally for a big portion of last season. They then won the Super Bowl, went right back under the radar. Even in our graphics, you can just sense our team begrudgingly including Darnold on them. It's they won the Super Bowl.
No, they're very good.
They're back atop the tiers. Brew.
We should do that tomorrow.
That's a long version. I apologize. I probably talked too much there. That's the commitment.
I like the name. Bob did a great job with the name. Is it Bob?
It's Marshall for the NFL tiers.
Who was Bob? World Cup? Something?
Yeah, I think it was.
Marshall.
Gilberto.
Good
the
job.
World Cup tiers.
Good job by Marshall. I'm in a bit of a quandary.
Why? Please tell me you prepped the Chargers and we showed you the Justin Herbert video, and now you're stuck. That would be perfect television. Please tell me that's what happened.
Bingo. This has me messed up. I'm sorry. I was all ready to sing the Chargers praises. Chargers too low. I have it written down right here. And then I see this. I'm sorry. I don't like it at all. Look, there's guys practicing. No.
All right, just make the case for the Chargers.
I'm going to try to move past this. I think the Chargers are going to have a great year. Jim Harbaugh's a great coach.
Yeah.
Maybe he was getting water while that was going on.
You have to start
He was
acting.
in the bathroom.
Or
or
you have to
something
turn
like
on
that.
your acting chops.
Yeah.
Because your heart is not in this already.
Mike McDaniel, great OC. Love the running backs. They got their offensive line together. They got their 2 All-Pro tackles
Yeah,
back
they're
who were
back.
out basically all last year. They added Tyler Biadasz, the All-Pro Bowl center. I mean,
But are
the
they locked
line
in?
is
But are they
straight.
locked in?
I don't know. I'm just gonna be honest. I think the Chargers. I'm just ignoring what I just saw.
Okay.
I think the Chargers are going to be a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
I think you
this year.
might. Are you leaning to picking them to win the division over the Chiefs?
Certainly.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
thought.
I mean, I'm certainly strong consideration.
that's
Yes,
what I thought.
absolutely. I like.
Yeah.
I love everything on paper except
Yeah.
what's on
The
video
love
that I
notes.
just saw.
Yeah. Go ahead, KW.
All right. Bears. Ben Johnson himself said we're the #1 regression candidate. It wasn't his concept.
Yeah.
He was just kind of reading the newspaper clippings. And I'm going to do this, and then Bears fans are like, you know what, Danny Parkins particularly, be like, that's unfair. All the facts you just laid out, even though they're facts. I would move the Bears up this tiers if they had a great defense, if they were blasting teams last year, and if they had an easy schedule. Unfortunately, the opposite is true for every part of that.
Yes.
Defense,
Right on the money.
mediocre to bad.
That part's true.
Now, the wackiest part about how bad or mediocre to bad the Bears defense was is that they had all of these ranks while leading the league in takeaways, which always changes year to year. Right? Bears, the Vikings led 10th, Steelers led 4th, Ravens tied for it, Giants went down to 28th.
Yeah.
That's when that saved Dayball's job. Like, man, they're still winning games.
Yeah.
Cowboys, that was a famous Ron Bland year. Like, we remember, they were like, the defense is not actually that good. Okay. Last year, were they blasting teams like the Seattle Seahawks, who we don't really talk enough about? No. If you were really good last year, and again, I'm a quarterback wins guy, and Caleb got the wins, but it is good to look at point differential. Seahawks were blasting teams. Rams were blasting teams. Patriots had an easy schedule. They blasted teams. Jags, blasting teams.
Thank
Bills. Bears. Well, hello, we won 11 against 26 points. 6 wins in the final 2 minutes or overtime. It's just not a sustainable thing. Finally, this schedule. It's the league's hardest schedule. Now, that's always kind of debatable. It always fluctuates.
It doesn't look that.
It doesn't look that hard, but I don't know if it's last year's they win total, I believe.
Okay.
So, you play Seahawks won the Super Bowl. Patriots were in the Super Bowl. Carolina in the playoffs. But here's the fact.
They got the NFC South.
Yeah, that's what I like. But go ahead.
Last year, the Lions had the hardest schedule, and they went from 15 wins to 9. The last team to win a playoff game with the hardest schedule, according to the same metric we used in the Bears having a hard schedule, was the 2016 Falcons.
That's something.
Something.
Yeah.
Bears regression alert.
Luckily, they got a superstar quarterback and a great head coach who you used to love.
Let's blast teams. Get out there and.
You've never cared about that.
What? I cared about it since the Celtics NBA run.
Oh, that's right. You know what? You're right.